Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Sam. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the Member Experience Manager at Advent Coworking. I want to thank you for joining us for our weekly event, Advent Member Talks. As you may know, this weekly event features a different Advent member on the topic of their choosing, and it gives our members the opportunity to share their skills and their knowledge, not only with fellow members, but also with the greater Charlotte community. So I'm really excited to introduce our two members who are presenting today, Keith and PJ. They are going to be talking about original social media content and how that can help you grow your business. So I'm going to hand it over to them. And if you have any questions for them while you're watching, feel free to just type those into the comments, or if you're on Zoom, type it into the Q&A, and we'll have some time for questions at the end. All right, y'all.
Nice.
All right, thank you so much.
Hello, everybody watching.
Howdy.
And thank you, Advent, for having us. Thank you, Sam, for that awesome intro. My name is Keith.
My name is PJ.
And we are the creators of Screw Up TV. And it is we are a film company. We do short films,
sketch comedy, feature films.
And we use comedy to educate, the culture. And that's what we do. And we're just now kind of getting into our marketing stage of a film we just wrapped.
Yeah, we just recently wrapped a feature film that we shot out here in Charlotte, and we're getting ready to get our marketing boost pushing. And so we figured it'd be a good time to go ahead and allow you guys to join us on the journey, or take some of our tips and like apply it to your own personal companies.
Because we believe that the branding of your company, the branding of your product, your service, any of that is very important. And the only way that people, it's one way, but I think the key way that people are going to really understand your company, your brand, is visually through pictures and videos on your social media, which is our your one platform to post from, especially now during this pandemic. So.
Yeah. In 2020, I would say even in the past 5 or so years, social media has become one of the primary tools in marketing and getting yourself out there, mainly because depending on which platform, there's a different demographic on any and all platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Social media branding and advertising is constantly updating because social media is constantly updating. Pretty much branding your social media is like, this is your identity. So being able to understand what your brand identity is, who your target audience is, those are all key things in marketing and knowing exactly what you want to do.
And a lot of the things we're going to talk about today, we're going to be talking fast because we're going to try to get as much information as possible. But this is all information we've picked up on our experiences with marketing and advertising things through video and photo. So feel free to reach out to us on our email or any of our social media if you want any help with any of that sort of stuff, as far as creating compelling and original content that'll help you go. So let's talk about like social media branding and kind of what that is.
So the main thing is you want to know what your own brand identity is, and you want to know who your target audience is. Some people have had a brand and have had a brand for years and may not know exactly what their identity is or who their audience is. Some people say, well, I want everybody to buy my stuff or everybody to come to me. But that's a giant, that's too big of a pool to pull from.
Right.
It's always good to have a more focused and centralized goal and audience.
You definitely, if you believe your product or your service is for everybody, then you really should take a step back and just kind of reevaluate that, because it's really hard to sell to everybody. Every product is for a specific group of people. And on top of that, once you go to present your product through marketing, through videos and through photo, you also have to understand that you only have this very small window to catch your potential customer's eye. They're just swiping on that phone or going through their pages, and you have but a small window to get them. So your videos and your photos have got to be concise. They've got to be compelling.
Yeah.
Especially in that first 5 or 6 seconds of doing it.
Absolutely. And when figuring out or asking yourself, who is my target audience? How do I find out what my brand identity is? One big question you should ask yourself is why. Like why am I doing this? Why is this my passion? Why, if I were a potential client, why would I then come to you for your services?
Right. Like what is your business's, unfair advantage that you have over everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Besides,
you want to find out what makes you unique and different, but at the same time, you also want to look at other businesses in your field and kind of see, okay, who's their clientele, and how can I bring that clientele over to me, or what are they doing where I'm doing a lot of the same things they're doing, but what can I do that's a little different, right, that might make us a little bit more appealing than the next guy?
Exactly. What was I going to say?
One thing that you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that you stay in contact with your audience, stay in contact with your clients. Everything doesn't have to be a sale, especially right, through social media. There's plenty of opportunity to just reach out and connect with right, your clients in your audience. You can do giveaways, you can
right,
do
exactly, like
fundraisers.
Like once you have your brand pretty much figured out, we're going to throw you guys just a few ways of how you can grow awareness with now that you have your brand identified, because like PJ's saying, you don't want to be constantly just selling sales to people, because we live in a day and age where all of us, we buy information. We're not really buying products.
Yeah, and nobody wants to be sold to,
Right. They want to, they want to trust you more than buy your product, because
because everybody's trying to sell to them.
Exactly. And the last thing they want to do is be sold to.
We know, for example, there's like let's say there's like a few law offices here, so if on your social media, every now and then you put like 2 or 3 great tips for legal, or 3 tips of legal advice,
exactly, free advice,
free information that you can give them, just to because you're not selling, but it makes the normal consumer see some new advice that they didn't know that they might be able to use. Oh my goodness, I just got in an accident,
right,
and I might be able to use this information,
or a friend of mine, or a friend of somebody like that.
Exactly.
And that information that you have, like, you're the expert of your business, of your company, so giving your expertise for free is going to just do nothing but build more trust from potential customers. And that's what you want to do. You want to build trust and keep that trust so they can buy from you and talk about you. Like if you run if you have a soap company and you tell your consumers, hey, our soaps are organic, they're not made from any animal products or none of that, unlike other bigger companies like Colgate or whatever. I'm not positive on what they use to make their toothpaste, but I feel like it's got not any organic products like some of these organic guys do, and that's a huge sale difference.
And then and thinking on that, like there's a huge target audience for that organic base. There's a few pools of clientele just for that. So all the tips and information, again, you're going toward, like you're saying things that go towards that target audience. And while you're doing that, also you also want to make sure that your voice is unique, and different. We talked about the like all the insurance commercials,
right? Like the importance of having a unique personality and a unique, and also something very real that people can connect to. Like with these insurance companies, you have Progressive has Flo, who is a person that people look at as a person and not as like an advertisement. And they're the Geico Gecko is
people love the Geico Gecko. People just love Flo.
Right. People, the State Farm commercials, they have these people who are real people, not selling you insurance, but just like sharing with you these funny videos and photos. And just, again, that's why it's so important that your content on your social media is original and it's not very salesy.
Exactly. Like I mean, most of the best commercials you see now, you barely even know what they're selling. You barely know. Like I mean, and this goes back years and years ago. Like for example, right now, one of the big musicals everybody's watching is Hamilton, and I've always known that Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton from a Got Milk commercial from like '92. You know what I mean? I don't even drink milk at all, you know, but like I still remember this commercial and the sticks, but you know,
and that commercial had nothing to this much to do with milk, more so this much to do with the context of how
the
funny
situation.
Because I think the guy had
he had peanut butter stuck in his mouth. He was trying to answer a question.
Right, $1 million question. He couldn't say it out loud.
Aaron Burr.
He couldn't say Aaron Burr out loud. So the milk was like, you know, if you had milk at the time, you'd be good.
You know, you see like the Chick-fil-A commercials, like how stupid is it that a cow's spelling? Well, it's funny enough for it works, you know. And you don't ever go to Chick-fil-A and accidentally order a burger.
You don't. You know exactly what you're going to get from Chick-fil-A based off of what this cow has been telling you. And it's not, they never say a commercial. It's like, come by Chick-fil-A and get, you know, 2 chicken sandwiches for $10 or something like that.
It's just the stupid cow saying, eat more chicken. Please don't eat me. You know? And that's
exactly.
That's things that, and so try to find out what your personality could be. Trying to find, okay, what field am I in? What type of comedy do I like? What type are there other companies in my field doing advertisement like this? How can I be different? You're always looking at how can you stand out? What's your unfair advantage? You know, what can you do slightly different than nobody else can?
And again, reach out to us, because if you have, we understand some people do have a hard time creatively coming up with certain ideas or just getting your mind just going.
We have too many creative ideas, and that's our problem.
And that's like a lot of people's problem is they're afraid to even just kind of go there as far as being creative, being, you know, wrong and refining your ideas and going back and forth. So if you need help with that, give us an email.
That's where we come in, constantly trying to come up with innovative ideas to help you guys get your message across, you know, in a way that nobody else in your field is.
Another thing that needs to be highlighted is with social media, there are so many different platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. There's a bunch of them, and it's important for you to understand each single one of their audiences, because they're all different. A post that you put on Facebook won't do as well as a post you put on Instagram, because Instagram is more of a place where you know want to put visually like stimulating photos and videos, and Instagram is a place where and with your Instagram post you don't want to have many 3-4 paragraphs under your post. That's what you want to do on Facebook. You want to do, you know, like you want to identify what your demographic is in each one of these places. For us with Facebook, it's more so you know, people who like
families,
family, aunts and uncles, you know.
And you can put longer posts on Facebook and events and all that. Like that's what Facebook has become.
Right.
Where Instagram is, here's a quick picture, here's a quick link, here's a quick little snippet of a promo.
Right.
You know, YouTube, we can do more long form, full videos. You know, for example, if we have a sketch show, a 30-minute sketch comedy show where there's 3 sketches and a musical guest, we can put the full video up on YouTube, and then put just the funniest little moments on Instagram, the funny clip here on Twitter, just to drive traffic to our YouTube. But also, we don't want people to scroll past, and we know that people on Instagram are not on Instagram trying to watch a full half-an-hour video.
Right, exactly. And all these different platforms, people are doing different things. So you're just selling yourself short if you're only posting on 1 or 2 things. I'm not saying post the same thing on every platform. We're saying more so take, you know, like you were saying, if you have a 30-minute video, there's 20, 30 pieces of content within that. There's things you can tweet. There's things you can screenshot and put on your Instagram stories and stuff. There's things that you can, there's memes you can make out of your own posts and stuff.
Absolutely.
So look at all of your social media platforms and identify, you know, what group would enjoy what, where, because giving people, like there's people who are on Instagram who aren't on Facebook, and there's people who are on Snapchat who are not on Twitter and all over. So yeah, think about what those platforms do and think about how you can take your business and put your content on there in a way that's really going to resonate.
And again, like don't feel like you just want to pour everything out the same way. You don't want to put your full video on all 4 platforms, because then on the rare occasion that somebody has all 4 platforms and they're following you, then it's like, oh my God, this again. But if it always seems different, if it's always bite-sized and manageable, 5 seconds here, 15 seconds here, you know, that counts. People also care about how real of a person you are. You know, the more that your audience and clients feel like you're just as real as a person as they are. Again, that goes back to that whole trust thing. You know, let's see. We want to do make sure you have a killer.
Yeah, make sure that your content, on top of having, you know, specific your content spread all over your social media spots, make sure that your content is, again, like I feel like we said it a few times, but you have to have killer content. It's got to be clean photos, clean visuals, very well lit stuff. So you have to be very selective with the things you put up too, because think about the amount of posts that you look at where, okay, so you'll see a restaurant and they post their food that's on special. They don't just put it on a plate, like a paper plate.
It doesn't look like they actually serve it.
Right.
Like they prepare it and present it.
Right.
We had a client a few weeks ago there where they were getting ready to do a brand change, and you know, they had done some videos before, and some of the videos that they shot themselves, like the videos were kind of like this, where you can barely kind of see.
Exactly.
You know, to the consumer, right?
And like you can't sell, like if this is your camera angle and this is where you're not going to get any sales for multiple reasons. All
People
this
are going to scroll past it.
Yeah, they're going to just not trust that
it doesn't look professional, and it looks like something that, you know, your great uncle did, your great aunt. which is again where we are here to help. Absolutely.
So,
you know,
holla at us,
because again, like you guys are the masters of your own businesses, and so it's not really, you're not supposed to know that this is not like the greatest shot in the world.
Exactly.
You know,
don't feel
it's not until after the fact where you really like, I guess that, or the shot was completely crooked. You know,
that's
or the sounds was bad. You know, things like that go a long way, because there are so many products out there with we'll say subpar quality. Just having good quality automatically makes you stand out.
Oh man, it takes you all the way out of the pack. Like if you have a subpar looking video, I mean, just put a little bit, like invest a little bit in your marketing and it'll go a long way. I saw something today that said video posts, the engagement rate goes up some crazy number, like I don't know, 130 something %, which is crazy. But that's what people, especially now.
And I'm sure you guys have heard plenty of times that and like this, I've seen it in action, where I've seen people on social media spend 2 hours on a picture and post. You know, just working on it. They'll take the picture, they'll take 45 pictures, then they'll get a bunch of apps and they'll filter through it, and they'll take so much time on this one post, where 90% of us will take a picture and post it, you know, and get our 30 like, if you take the time and craft the post to be seen by a lot, then you'll get those views.
Exactly.
But, you know, if you take it in 5 seconds, you're going to get 5 seconds worth of attention.
Right. We call it our, like, the microwave process. If you cook something in the microwave, it's going to taste like it came out the microwave. But if you cook something in the oven and take time with it, it's going to taste fantastic. We got 9 minutes. We're going to try to cram in a lot more stuff and leave some room for people to talk. Another dope thing to do is giveaways and contests. Like if you're really early in stages of developing your business, giving away free stuff, people love that. Like we did a contest one time where we bought an Apple Watch, and it cost us what, $200, and we said, hey, we're giving away an Apple Watch. All you got to do is like this post, tag 2 people to who want to win it, and follow our page. And that $200 investment got us
followers, got his comments, got his people who are now invested in us.
Right. People, real people too, not, bots or anything that, like, there's a lot of companies who try to sell you followers and sell you likes and things. And we would highly not recommend that, because
don't do that at all, because they got algorithms that'll sniff it out and they'll almost do irreparable damage to your pages.
Right. Exactly. And it's bad. But you do something as simple as a $50 gift card to Best Buy. Just follow our page and tag somebody in it, and we're picking 3 winners. That'll grow your social media. Doing things like collaborating with other social media profiles that are kind of like yours, or even like social media influencers and stuff. There's websites and places where you can reach out to these people. There's one we're using now called let me find it. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So
you guys have it, because it's cool.
And that's another thing. There's so many resources that are available out there that people just don't know about. And it's just a matter of going out there, doing the research, and finding ways where you don't have to break the bank to get yourself out there.
We've connected with a few social media pages here and there that have reposted our content for $25, $50, and it's turned into 50,000 views, 60,000 plays, 12, 15 leads, things like that. We just recently found a website called Shoutcart. And they have a bunch of social media influencers on there who are willing to post your stuff, depending on, like, if your
content fits their brand.
Right. You pretty much find which one of them fits your brand, and you send them what you want them to post for $20, $50. The most expensive one I think was like $150. But that was to like Ludacris's page or like Martin Lawrence's page.
It's small investments like that go a long way. One, because a lot of people don't know about the shout cards and other sites. So just the knowledge that they exist gives you that upper hand advantage of being able to get your name out there on like a broader platform without doing all the work yourself. You can get a boost. Now, obviously, again, you want to have that killer content to, like, once people do see your product or your page, you have exactly what you want them to see.
Exactly. And it turns into, so you don't have to rely on these things all the time. You only want to do it enough to where it's now you're taking care of yourself. You have enough followers, and your content is posting, and it looks good. And scheduling that stuff, like using things like Hootsuite, Later. There's a few other ones where you can schedule your posts out for a week. That's
Hashatory to look up hashtags that are trending, like day by day.
Right.
They keep a track on like what hashtags are trending that day.
You can share posts from past clients you've had. We're just trying to throw you guys a bunch of ideas. But on top of all of this, you have to remember that you can do all these ideas, but it's not going to do you any good if the average person or your potential client isn't able to look at it and get it. And if they don't get it, that's okay. Don't take it personally. You're going to have to just take a few steps back, evaluate why, and then come back and represent it in a different way. And that's pretty much what we've been doing for the past 10 years of doing film work. And it's worked really well for us here and there. So we would love to take any questions you guys have.
So fast.
Yeah, that really didn't go by fast. We didn't get to say a few other things, but that's fine.
Feel free to reach out to us for any questions at all. We're right here in the Advent, guys.
Yep. Advent, proud Advent
members,
students.
So we help video content, anything that you guys need, even just a little bit of if you guys just need some coaching on some stuff. We got your back, like chiropractic.
That's right.
Y'all, that was so much good information. I'm just like have a whole page of notes here.
Good. Cool. Yeah, for sure. We'll take this thing that we kind of wrote up, or even like kind of write something up based off this, and put that in a PDF to share with everybody if they'd like.
That would be awesome. And yeah, for folks watching, we're gonna post this on YouTube, but obviously it's here on Facebook for everyone to watch again. It'll be on YouTube. We can definitely share out those resources. We do have quite a few questions, so maybe we'll get through a few of them in the next kind of
Right.
4 minutes here. So one thing that you mentioned is that, each platform has very different audiences.
Mhm.
And so I'm just wondering, like, how do you determine who your audience is on those platforms?
Mhm.
And then how do you kind of change your content to make it fit for each demographic if you are going to post similar content across those platforms?
Absolutely. Well, so first off, if you already have those platforms, there's different analytics that you can get out that shows who's already kind of looking at your stuff.
Right.
And then from there you can see, okay, so here's the audience who we already have. Uh, let's see how, okay, on Facebook that lines up for what we want, but on Instagram, how do we go ahead and start
Doing that
targeting,
same message sort of thing.
the younger ones? And it goes just from just marketing research, start looking at
Like
other
what?
businesses that are right up your lane. See who's following them, see what they're following, see
Right.
what their comments and engagements are. Start going to those other businesses and commenting below, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just being interactive.
And checking out some of the stuff you've posted in your past. Like if you have a Facebook page, there's a way where you can look at all the posts you've made, and it'll show you what's doing well, what's not. And if you just take the ones that did better than the other ones, whether it's 5 likes compared to 0 likes, if one got 5 and 12 of your posts got 0 likes, that right there's something in there that you should be able to figure out. That's like, all right, there's a reason why these aren't getting any likes here, but they're getting likes on Instagram. So
and you have to be very goal oriented about it, where every week you're like, okay, well, this last week we got like 5 new followers. Okay, what did we do this week that we didn't do from the week before?
Right.
And just kind of, it's a lot of like experimental, but just staying on top of it, like just staying on top of who's looking at our stuff. Again, just focusing on who you want to target again, and that's looking at all the other companies who are doing what you want to do. Instagram usually targets younger, but there's a certain way that that younger audience gets targeted, and
right,
and try to
that's
find.
the most important. Is just looking at each platform and knowing, all right, what kind of group of people hang out here, what kind of group of people hang out here. It's almost like, the difference between Whole Foods and Walmart and Target and things like that. Sorry, I'm getting somebody's calling, but yeah, we won't dive way too crazy on that.
That's really helpful. And just last question to wrap us up. Well, second to last. Something that's probably really relevant to a lot of folks right now as we're all dealing with this global pandemic is what are the biggest differences you're seeing in marketing, like online content pre and post or kind of mid COVID?
So I feel like before COVID, there was a bunch of people who, wanted to go out and hustle hard and blow their business up. But there was a small fire behind everybody to keep them going. There was a little bit of like leniency. Well, I don't really have to push as hard as I can because life isn't as crazy as it is right now. And now that we have COVID, it's really shifted everybody's mindset to being like, all right, it's either like I do something or I'm not doing anything at all. And doing nothing at all doesn't keep you stagnant. It takes you down. Mm-hmm. So what was I going to say?
Well, also another thing, one thing to realize is since it is
right, that's what I was going to say. I remember now.
We do have such like uncertainty in the times. It's better to be proactive as opposing to wait around and see what happens,
Right.
So under the assumption, let's say that this is the status quo for however long it is. Let's say hopefully it's not a year or two or anything, but let's just prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So let's say under these circumstances, what's the best way for us to function? A lot of this different businesses and guidelines have provided COVID guidelines for everybody to follow.
Right.
In the film world, there's statewide guidelines to like COVID regulations to follow on the set. So everybody look up your local guidelines. depending on your business, depending on how much personal interaction you have, see how you can limit that, how you can utilize Zoom and other things if you have to. If you have to interact with people, you always want to make them feel as comfortable as possible. So always be super proactive and say, here's everything we're doing to prevent people from getting sick, you know?
Like right now, it would be a great idea for every business to email all your clients and let them know your COVID policy, because that's another way to build trust. People are going to be like, okay, well, at least I haven't been thinking about you, but at least now you've told me that you're practicing something. So now I am thinking about you. And on top of that, COVID is it's a huge hump or a hole in the road for all of us business wise. But I don't think everybody should look at that as a bad thing. It's a bad thing, and it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity because now all the waters are calm. Everybody's at the same level: celebrities, athletes, business owners, CEOs. So this is your time to really like be that ripple in the water to set it off, because anybody can do something right now to where it can take your business all the way up.
Everybody has the same audience opportunity. Like concerts are happening right now. People aren't going to movie theaters right now. If you want to reach people right now, online is the only way to do it, you know?
And you got to make sure your content is clean as a whistle, because you, just like we were saying with Hamilton, you do not want to throw away your shot.
You
don't want to do that. Oh no, we missed you.
We lost your sound.
Oh, sorry. I'm the Zoom meme person who's like always on mute. And,
it's all right.
But no, that was really great. It is so important to communicate with your customers about what you're doing to keep them safe and to keep them safe. So that's really great advice.
If you don't do that, they're going to go to somebody else who is doing that.
Right.
They're just waiting. All of our customers are sitting on their phones like this, just waiting for something.
What's the next safe thing I can do?
They want something to do. So they want us to be successful. So why not give it the best you got?
Yeah. So if folks aren't able to be in Advent and go say hi to you at your office, which everyone in Advent should totally do that, how can they get in contact with you and learn more about what you do?
We are at screwuptv@gmail.com. We can take emails there. We're on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything as Screw Up TV. Feel free to send us messages there. We have, what else do we have for people to look at? We do sketch comedy all the time. We're in the final stages of a new feature. So things are a little crazy.
Things are crazy, but we're
very open to consultations, and anybody want to talk and get some tips or get some things shot, some video shots, some pictures taken, any of that. We're here for that.
Reach out.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. This has been really great. And thank you to everyone who has joined us today, and to everyone who may watch this later, either here on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, Advent Coworking Videos. So definitely check out Screw Up TV, get in touch with Keith and PJ, and we hope that we'll see you next week, Tuesday at 4:30. Have a great evening, y'all.
Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing you all around Advent. And we might be a little crazy in here tomorrow because it's my birthday. So if we make
Happy birthday!
I'll kick the door down. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm a Leo too. Go Leo.
Let's go, Leo. Leo season. It's our time.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Have a good one.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.